Hi, this is Literal Equations worksheet number 1. To complete this assignment today, we're going to go through some of these together. All work needs to be shown, and at the end of the worksheet you will hand this in. You will receive full credit if your work is shown and your answers are correct. Question number 1, regular equations. We need to get x by itself. So connected to the x is a minus 7. The opposite of subtract 7 is to add 7. So if I do that to both sides, I get x is equal to 15. So I have my one step of work, and here's my answer. So that is a regular equation. Let's try a literal equation. It says solve for x. So we want to get x by itself, so we need to get rid of the b. So I'm going to add b to both sides of the equal sign. When I do that, I'm left with x is equal to a plus b. The directions were to solve for x. So notice x is all by itself. We added b to both sides, so we get a plus b. This is our answer. It's an equation solved for x. Number 2. Here's the regular equation. We need to get x by itself. So we're going to divide by 4. When we divide by 4, we're left with x is equal to negative 3. Remember, you should be filling out your worksheet with me. 2b, it says solve for k. So here's our literal equation. We need to get k by itself. So we're going to draw our bar. I need to get rid of the negative 3, so I'm going to divide by it. They are connected by multiplication, so the inverse is to divide. And I'm left with k is equal to m divided by negative 3. So all we did was copy what was ever on the right side right down here. So this minus 3 and the minus 3 canceled, and now our equation is solved for k. Please pause the video and rewind at any time if you need to go back over a question. Question number 3. Let's try a two-step equation. So we need to get the x by itself. So first we want to add 5. When I add 5, I'm left with 2x, and on the right, 11 plus 5 is 16. And now we need to get x by itself. So we will divide by 2, and our solution is x is equal to 8. Part B, the literal equation. We want to get b by itself, so we need to get rid of the minus 9. So the opposite of subtracting 9 is to add 9. When I do that, this cancels, and I'm left with 2b on the left. On the right, we have d and 9. They are not like terms. D is a variable, 9 is a constant, so I have to write them separately. So I get d plus 9. Remember, our goal is to get b by itself. So we still have one more step to do, and that would be to divide by 2, because 2 and b are connected by multiplying. And now we have this piece over here, this chunk, d plus 9. We have to divide that whole piece by 2, because what we do to one side, we have to do to the whole other side. So our answer, you could write as this, d plus 9 divided by 2, or if you wrote those pieces separately, you could have d divided by 2 plus 9 divided by 2. Either answer is correct. And basically what we're doing here at the end was just the distributive property, where both pieces had to be divided by 2. Question number 4. We need to get the x by itself. I see parentheses, so there's a couple of things I could do. If I multiplied in here, a half times 4 is 2. I don't have to multiply a half times the x again, like we do with distributive property, because 4 times x is just one chunk. And that equals negative 20. So I need to get x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2, and I'm left with x is equal to, yep, you got it, negative 10. 4b. I need to get g by itself. A, E, and G are all connected by multiplying, so I'm going to separate them. I'm going to divide by A, and I'm left with E times G is equal to 10 divided by A. So now I need to get rid of my E, so I'm going to divide by E. Divide by E. So see how this looks a little bit confusing? So let me show you a better way instead of writing both of these steps separately, where we can write them together. So instead of erasing, why don't you just watch what I'm doing, and then you can make some additions to your answer. So if I copy our first step, dividing by A, what we can do is actually divide by A and E in the same step. Because up here, first we divided by A and then we divided by E. Since we're dividing by both of them, we can do them both at the same time. Because now, A times E is going to cancel out on that left side. So then what I'm left with is G equals 10 divided by AE. So maybe all you want to do to your answer you already wrote down is slip in an E here and an E here, and then just write down that G is equal to 10 divided by A times E. Remember, pause the video and rewind at any time if you need more time to work. Number 5, we need to get x by itself. Some of you look at this and say, it's a fraction, I don't know how to do fractions. Well, let's read what it says. X divided by negative 8. Well, the inverse of dividing by negative 8 is to multiply. What we do to one side, we do to the other. So now, multiplying and dividing by negative 8 cancels, and I'm left with x on the left side, and on the right I can multiply and get negative 88. (5b). It says solve for y. So we need to get y by itself. So I need to get rid of divides by 3. So the opposite of divides by 3 is to multiply by 3. What I do to one side, I do to the other. Multiplying by 3 and dividing by 3 cancel, and I'm left with y is equal to 3h. The directions say to solve for y. Y is by itself, so we know we are done. And this is the answer. On the back side, I'm going to help you with the regular equation, and I will let you do the literal equation. So please pause the video after I'm done with the regular equation. 6a, we want to get x by itself. So we are going to subtract 26. What we do to one side, we need to do to the other. So I get negative 12 equals 2x. And now I need to get rid of the 2, so I'm going to divide. And my final answer is x is equal to negative 6. In the literal equation, you are solving for b. Pause the video until you're ready to try number 7. The first thing we're going to do is subtract 5. So on the right, I'm left with 7v. On the left, these two are not like terms, so I need to write them separately. And now I need to get rid of the 7 to get the v by itself. So I'm going to divide by 7. And on the other side, we're going to divide both parts by 7. So then on the right, I'm left with v. And on the left, I could just write it as it is, or I could write it using the distributive property. 3d over 7 minus 5 divided by 7 is equal to v. And either of those could be your answer.